Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here, okay? Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the den. So, guys, this is my review recap for Handmaid's Tale Season 5, Episode 8. Baby, let me tell y'all something right now, okay? We got some things to discuss. We got some things to get into with this episode right here, okay? Now, first and foremost, let me just say, it is always the audacity and the irony for me with Serena. I have probably said this like at least the last 4 videos that I have done about the Handmaid's Tale. So it was funny to me that, we had Lawrence and June bring that up to Serena. Serena is the ultimate definition of a daggone Karen, where it's like, oh no, it's that person over there, not me. Poor me. I'm the one that's going through it. I'm the one, that's suffering. Nobody understands my pain. And that person did it over there. It kind of reminds me of that kid song that the kids used to sing. My son used to sing when he was in school, child, where they would be like, who stole the cookie from the cookie jar? Who, me? Yes, you. Okay? Girl, it's you. Yes. It kills me every single time. And we also got to get into Mark, because Mark, you playing games. You over here trying to come, with this daggone, ask not what your country could do for you, but what you can do for your country. No, Mark, we need to see you doing some things. And if you ain't doing nothing, then shut up and move out the damn way, okay? Yeah. I don't want to jump too far ahead, though. We're going to get into all of that, okay? And the name of this episode, of course, was Motherland. Just want to say real quick before I get into the review, y'all put it in the comments, of course, and tell me what y'all thought about this episode, what y'all thought about daggone Serena and her freaking hypocrisy. I want to hear from y'all. I want to know all about it. And if you are not following me on social media, make sure that you guys do, okay? It is Tamika Den on all social media platforms. I just got on TikTok too. Follow your girl. Hit me up. Let me know what's going on. Let me know that you came through. Now, having said that, let's go ahead and get into this, okay? Take it from the top, baby. So we started out this episode, June is in the daggone kitchen, and she's basically just thinking about, Hannah. Of course, Hannah's always on her mind. She's cooking, and therefore she's thinking about, a time when her and Hannah was cooking in the kitchen, right? And they are saying how Serena been calling again, and they was like, and I'm going to ignore it again, all right? I don't know why she thinks that we would be any help to her and why we would reach out to her and all of this other kind of stuff, right? We are also hearing noise because we got all these protesters that's now coming around and protesting, saying they don't want them there, right? They want them to get the hell up out of here. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute because I find that interesting. And they just going on, and it's like, June is kind of in her own thoughts at the same time, but she's still hearing little pieces from them or whatever. And then they ask her if she heard from Serena. She's like, nah, since I was in the hospital. And Rita's just kind of looking at them too because, Luke going all hard talking about, oh, she's desperate. What does she think? Y'all gonna be damn buddies. And, Maura's pretty much agreeing with him. And I could definitely understand why Maura, Luke, or any of them would feel this way when it comes to, Serena. And Luke was saying, like, I don't know why she thinks she deserves anything or deserves, to even have you help her or speak to her, whatever. And of course, June's whole thing was, it wasn't about what she deserved. It wasn't about her at all, but I wasn't going to have a damn baby sitting here, a newborn baby dying in the woods, regardless of how I felt about her. And Luke was just like, and, he looking all around or whatever the case may be, right? And of course, this is when they start saying, like, damn, these protesters is getting louder and louder. It's starting to be more and more. June had went out there first, and then the rest of them follow. And we see they out here with picket signs. They driving past, screaming, go home, Americans. We don't want you here. They over here leaving graffiti in front of their house. And I was like, well, what was the change that made it get to this point and get so drastic? They were saying, do you think this is ever going to end? And June was basically like, no, it's only going to get worse. Okay, this is the beginning. And so they definitely are like, this country is for Canadians. We want you up out of here. And I'm like, really? Okay. So, we get to them, Lawrence and them, child, he got this whole little, motherland community going on. Honey, he done built up all these houses. He like, gentlemen, this is what it is. This is where we at now. It's embarrassing that we have a country that people are constantly trying to escape. This weakens our nation. Lawrence is giving them the layout and the tour, and he's saying it complicates their relationship with Canada. They definitely don't want that. And so they was like, basically Canada is sick of their refugees and want them out of there, and they want to be able to bring them home. And so he was like, they sure as hell can't keep paying them or whatever. And he was like, this is why I brought y'all here, so I can show y'all New Bethlehem, all right? He was like, it's a modernized, strategically liberalized island, okay? And it would take Gilead's refugees and offer them amnesty, And so it's a way that they can, promise to reunite families with their long-lost family and friends, right? And so the other commanders is like, I don't know about all of that, right? This seems like it would basically show weakness on our part if we are letting these heretics return. And we know that this is what, gosh, the other commander that they killed, I can't think of his name to come back to me, but this was the point he was trying to make. He was saying that the commanders wouldn't be down with this. Why would they want to take back people that they feel like basically betrayed them in different ways, right? If anything, that's not the way that they would be normally dealing with them, to bring them into daggone new homes and reunite with them with their families. We lucky if they even still let them have their damn lives for some of the stuff that they did, right? But Lawrence is saying that this would be, the new way, right? And so Lawrence was saying that there is no little, America without little Americans at the end of the day, right? And, the commander was saying, but how will the people react, in Gilead? And he basically was saying, won't some of them try to defect to this place? And Lawrence was saying, well, they won't know about it for a while, right? He was like, I don't know if any of them would be aware, because it's not like we got free press in Gilead. So this is not something that's going to be where, everybody would know about it. And he was like, the traitors among us, they're already trying to get to damn Canada, So he was like, think of this as our Hong Kong or whatever the case may be, right? And, one country with two systems. So he was like, gentlemen, I believe that Gilead is going to replace the United States at the United Nations. I said, I don't know about all of that, Lawrence. Okay, I don't know. I don't really get where you are trying to go. But we going to rock with you, and we going to see what you up to, okay? And he basically was saying, until that day, their greatest threat is basically, the persistent fantasy of democratic values, y'all. I'm sorry. I know I'll be sometimes be getting tongue-tied, all right? So he was like, and it almost destroyed the world or whatever, right? So New Bethlehem, supposedly, according to him, neutralizes that from happening, right? That threat. And so I said, okay, Lawrence, whatever you say, because I ain't trusting you all the way either. But he is telling them it is time to grow up. It is time for them to show this world, a Gilead with maturity and confidence, okay? And that they are above moral fortitude. I said, really? Now y'all want to be above moral fortitude after y'all was basically sexual assaulting people, beating people, cutting their hands, cutting their eyeballs out, hanging them? We above it now, Lawrence? Okay. So, at this point, Nick had said to them that moral fortitude was exactly what Commander Putman was lacking. That was his name, y'all. I told y'all it would come back to me, all right? And that's why his ass got killed. So if you don't want to get killed, then you may want to go ahead and step on board. But Lawrence was saying he going to be going to Toronto to talk to some of the families and start getting this thing in motion. And he's going to start with about 100. And so as he's walking away, the commander that was kind of giving a hard time a little bit, giving a little pushback on whether this was going to be a good idea or not, was like, Commander, hurrying up and calling Lawrence before he could leave. He was like, I see that you're right now. I said, really? You switched up that quick and see that he right? I don't believe it, okay? I don't believe it for a minute. But he tells him, I see where you coming from now. He was like, forgiving me for hearing, the deceased Putman's, voice in my ear, honey. I was still hearing him for a minute, but he out now, all right? And I'm hearing what you gotta say. I said, yeah, okay, I bet you do, because you probably scared he gonna kill your behind too. And Lawrence was like, I forgive you, Commander. But I'm like, Lawrence, you watch out too, honey, because if I remember correctly, I don't know how drastically things have changed just by you and Nick getting Putman out the way. You got a lot of these commanders that's not feeling you either, because they feel like you don't follow all their rules. You don't have a handmaid. You haven't made a baby. So, let's just be careful. But it's looking like, Lawrence got a power, a little something, something, and he's trying to use it in, the way that he feels like it's going to benefit him for all these different ideas that he have of this new place he's making. So, again, it is piquing my interest. I do want to see where it's going. And so, they got had to leave, and, this commander looked like he was taking a sigh of relief, and he went back to where all the other commanders was, and they was just looking. So the next thing you know, baby, we see Serena sitting up here in this facility, child. She got on the gel jumpsuit. She over here, basically got the pump, pumping out her daggone breast milk for little Noah or whatever, and got the tears running down. I said, oh, boo-hoo-hoo, Serena, you sad? You crying, boo? You need some tissue? Okay, because no, I'm not feeling sorry for her. Okay, I'll be feeling sorry for Serena for like a second, and then she bring me right back to reality, to why she does not deserve the daggone sympathy, because she don't be giving it to nobody else. So now we got, Miss Wheeler come and be like, oh, I heard you ask for me, to come directly or whatever, right? And Serena's basically taking off the bottle like, oh, thank you. She got some bottles she already pumped, and Miss Wheeler is bringing her some more. And she was like, yeah, I heard you demanded me, to collect the milk in person. And she's like, oh, thank you, thank you. And of course, Serena want to give this fake apology. She want to say her hormones was all over the mess. She thanking her so much for fostering Noah while she's been stuck in there. She really appreciates her. She's like, how's he doing? She tells her he's fine. He's all good. He's being well taken care of. And we find out that a month has passed. Okay, Serena done been in this place for a month, and the Willis done had the baby for a month. So she basically was like, I wanted to explain to you about what happened with Ezra. I didn't mean to hurt him. And she was like, girl, oh, please, who cares? You're lucky you were in no man's land. He'll live. I said, well, damn. So, Serena was like, well, even so, I acted brashly, but I knew that when I shot him, he wasn't going to basically die because he had that bulletproof vest on or whatever, right? And, Miss Wheeler just was basically telling her, like, oh, I get it, girl. The hormones and stuff be all over the place. They'll make you crazy. She was like, that's why you need to rest and you need to focus on yourself and get better, because right now, this is why we have to be looking out for Noah, okay? And, we don't know if you are ever going to get better. And so Serena was like, well, I appreciate your concern, but, life with, my baby ain't gonna happen, child. I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna be okay, and I'm gonna be back out with him. And Miss Willer was telling her, well, life with a newborn is chaos, and it can really set you back. So if anything, we gotta, watch out for him, maybe long term. So Serena was like, what the hell you mean? Okay, in what way? She was like, oh, because he's turned the house upside down. He be crying all the time, nonstop. Okay, he cries and cries and cries for hours. It's like all day and night. I never knew a damn stubborn little creature could cry like that. He refuses to eat and he just cries out, and so we are doing the cry out method with him, but he just continues to resist. I said, girl, what is the cry out method? What the hell are we talking about here? And so apparently, because Serena was saying maybe he just needs to be held, he needs some love, he needs to know that he is gonna, have somebody there with him and there for him. And she's like, Serena, that's not how the cry out works. I said, girl, have you ever had a baby or took care of a baby before? Because I don't remember you being pregnant or having any kids with your husband. If I remember correctly, all of y'all having a problem with that. Okay, so why are you thinking you teaching Serena something about how motherhood works? I'm just saying. So she telling her about, you gotta be tough, you gotta have a mental toughness to provide this or whatever. And Serena was like, mental toughness, huh? She was like, right. She was like, listen, I have overthrown, a country or whatever against all odds and been through everything and birthed a healthy baby. So I think I know a little bit about mental damn toughness, all right? And so she said to Serena, are you angry with me? Now she is also a damn definition of a Karen child. I think she might have got Serena top right here, right? And so she basically was like, Noah is a 1 month old. Serena was telling her that. She was like, he's far too young for the, cry out method. And Miss Willa tell her, you being so sentimental is further proof that you're not ready. You still having mental and emotional issues. I said, girl, what? Okay. So Serena said, I know in my heart what's best for my child, And she was like, that child came from me. That's my baby. And then Miss Willis said, but you in here and I'm not. How about that, boo? Ha, 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 ha. So, nonetheless, Serena just basically looked at her, and Miss Willa calmed it down and was like, just worry about yourself, darling. Focus on yourself and leave Noah to me. Okay, I'll look out for Noah. And she go ahead and she leave. So Serena is in a pickle, y'all. Serena is in a pickle. So, of course, she starts crying as Miss Willa leaves or whatever the case may be. So then we get to June and June, Luke and Mara, they over here scrubbing, this graffiti off the floor. And she was like, child, we used to scrub blood off the damn walls of Gilead all the time. So it's not that much different. It's easy for us to do. And I'm pretty sure they're going to be back and we're going to have to be scrubbing some more. As they are there, we still got the protesters going past. Go home, go home, go home. We got a car that looked like they was ready to about to damn hit them, while they over here scrubbing on the, the ground or whatever. So they were saying, like, what made this change? When Luke first got there, they was pretty nice. When Mara got there, she's basically saying, they was polite overall, but they was starting to give us the side eye and look like they was getting annoyed, right? And now it's just like it's on and popping, right? It was nothing like this, though. It has basically went to the next extreme. So Luke was saying, well, what about if we get up out of here? And, June like, yeah, sure. But she just thought he meant, probably going somewhere for a couple hours or a day or whatever. He was like, no, I mean, leave Toronto, period. And she was like, nah, we can't do that because then we would be even further for Hannah. So, she ain't trying to do that. She like, we can't talk about leaving to go nowhere until, we're much further. So then she gets a call from Lawrence where he's like, it's lovely weather here in Canada. Okay, can you come see me? And of course, he wants to tell her about this damn new Bethlehem that he have, right? This is an offer that he wants to do. He's saying America is dying. They have outlived themselves of usefulness. Things is changing and this is going to be the new thing. And she was like, well, I thought you said you had news about Hannah. He says, well, first hear me out. And so, of course, he gives her the breakdown of this new Bethlehem plan. And he's like, you understand that you have, value and all the things that you're clinging to and all of this stuff, right? Democracy, liberty, justice, and all of that. And he was like, defined by a bunch of slave owners. I said, Lawrence, because you ain't far from it, all right, as far as I'm concerned, right? But these were the slave owners that were the same men that talked about all being created equal and blah, blah, blah. And June's face is looking just like my face, where it's like, get to the damn point. We don't care about all this. We want to know what the hell you doing with Hannah. So nonetheless, he gets to all of this to say that, well, all their faults in Gilead, they have fixed a particular problem, right? They are now having babies again. So that's not the big issue that it was. And therefore, he really feel like, even though unfortunately he had to use these nut jobs to get to this place that they at as a delivery system or whatever, that it worked overall, right? And he was saying how basically, long story short, with their new success, he's able to build this new place and he could afford to let up a little and make some changes. And she was like, so are you gonna let Hannah out? And he's like, no, I can't, but I can let you in. And so of course the offer is that her, Luke, and Nicole would come to New Bethlehem and they would live there, and therefore she would be able to be with Hannah. This is a new island settlement when there's no handmaids, no hangings, and all of that craziness that was going on. And Gilead, you could read a novel, you can even keep a diary if you want. It's a place where refugees will come for amnesty, right, and return to the motherland. And so she was like, are you serious right now? Like, is that what you came to tell me? And he was like, listen, people might visit their daggone grown children, their little children, have their children running in their own homes. You know what I'm saying? It's better than what the heck you in that right now, the situation that you are where you are away from here now, of course. You know what I'm saying? He know that this is going to be tempting to her if he says this or whatever. So she was like, are you talking about Hannah with this? And he was like, I am. He was like, when she becomes the head of a household. And so she was like, is she getting married? And he was like, well, there's Gilead, June. Eventually they all do. So it's like, how the hell is this a help to me, Lawrence? I still don't want my 12-year-old daughter to be married off to some old ass man for him to do what the hell he want to do with her. Like, no, you're not helping. But he was saying he could reunite them there. She could bring the whole family and they would be able to live this full life and he can make it happen. All right. So of course June was like, kind of, feeling that part, like, wait a minute, you saying I could be with my daughter? Of course it's not gonna take much. She gonna do anything and everything she can to be able to get close to Hannah. And he's like, yes, 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 all smiling and stuff or whatever. And he was like, you can be with Hannah again. But at the same time, she was like, how are you going to keep us safe? And he was like, well, I've been grooming Nick. Okay, not sexually, but he's helping me. Now, that part did make me crack up. And I've been teaching him everything, you know what I'm saying? And he's fully on board or whatever. And he could always have your back as well. You know that he has always had your back. And so he was like, I know this is a lot, to think about and take in or whatever the case may be. So you go ahead and, think about it and you use this to call me. And he basically gave her this phone or whatever the case may be. And, let him know what her answer is. And then he go ahead and he walk away or whatever. So I said, oh, Lord, is June gonna do this? So now of course she goes and tells Luke about it and they have a full-blown argument. She's like, listen, they have not been doing anything for us here, which she's not lying about that. They have not helped. Everything we try to give them, they don't be, using it and getting anything damn done. He says this is an opportunity for us to be closer to Hannah. And Luke is like, I don't believe him. He was like, why would I believe him? Why would I trust him? And she's like, listen, I would risk anything to be with Hannah. Wouldn't you? And he was like, of course, but they're monsters. Why am I going to trust monsters and believe in monsters? At the end of the day, they want to take our 12-year-old daughter and marry her off. He was like, hell no, and have her with some old ass man, basically assaulting her and taking, her body from her without her even wanting him to. So at this point he's storming off, he grabbing the damn laundry basket, he almost tripped over it and he's just trying to walk away from June, but she keep following him like, yo, if this is gonna make us closer to her and we want her out, what better way for us to do that than this way? What has American government done for us? They haven't done shit. They not one step closer to helping us than they were when we first got here. So he's saying that Lawrence is a Nazi and all this other stuff, and she was saying, and Lawrence has helped me. He's been there for me. He got me out. He got Nicole out. He got Emily out. She was like, he let Mayday in his home. He helped me with the Angels flight. He delivered Fred. She was like, he's put out his neck time after time after time without it benefiting him at all. And then she basically was like, he is my friend. He has been my friend. And I said, wait, hold up, June. Hold up, okay, because Luke was like, your friend, and she was like, yes, and I said, see, that's where you losing me, June. Don't get me wrong. Yes, Lawrence has helped, okay, he's been more of a help probably than anybody else that's there, definitely, not even probably anybody else that's there, but I would not say that it's completely against his damn benefit, and I also would not say that he's a friend. I think that's a bit of a stretch, okay, we could say an associate or just somebody we know that just so happens to have came through, on a few different occasions. I would not claim him as a friend, just me personally, okay? Because you can't be my friend, but then do things and put me in a situation that you set up, literally, that was designed to be the way that it was for me and my daughter to be in this in the first place, and then say that you're my friend. I just can't with that. But okay. So of course her and Luke don't see eye to eye with this. He's telling her he was the architect of daggone Gilead. How can you forgive them for what they did? And the part that I didn't agree with Luke, because he gotta always be a little bit annoying, is like he want to tell her how she's supposed to feel. He want to tell her and remind her of what the people did to her as if she don't know. She lived it, so of course she freaking know and remember what they did to her. Luke, she don't need you to tell them that and tell her that. And she's like, I don't forgive them, but I'm not thinking about whether I forgive them or not right now. That's not what this is about. This is about us getting closer to our daughter. And if this is an opportunity for me to do that, then that's what the heck I'm going to do. And he was like, I hate what they've done to my family. I hate what they've done to you. Completely natural reaction, of course, that you know what I'm saying, hate that. I wouldn't expect for you to love it and to be okay with it. But you got to understand where she's coming from. And at this point, of course, she had to tell him, of course, you don't understand how I feel. How could you possibly understand how I feel? You would never understand it because it was not you. You did not live it, right? You could probably have empathy or sympathy about the situation, but you still not going to understand it fully. And he's telling her, be patient, be calm. He's like, please still try to give them a chance. We still working on some things. He don't want her to go back there because he feels like if she goes back there, then, you know what I'm saying, he's not going to get her back. She's going to be completely lost again. He already had to go through all these years. And he was saying, can you just let me protect you for once? And she was like, I don't need your protection. Hannah does. I said, baby, you better speak, okay? Because that part spoke to me. That's facts on facts on facts, right? So anything you need to do to protect Hannah, I would think that you would do that, right? She did make sense with her saying that. Now, at this point, she goes in to see Serena finally, right? After all these calls that Serena done been making. And I'm sorry, matter of fact, she didn't go to see Serena first. Lawrence did. So he told her, congratulations on little Noah. He's a cute kid. She was like, are you getting me out of here? He said, well, yep, I sure can get you out of here. He said, I got the Canadian government to release you into Gilead custody. So she was like, it took you long enough. Like, excuse me, Serena, this is what I'm saying. She swear like people owe her stuff. He said, well, there's some things you have to ask in person and you have to take care of in person. Everything can be done over the phone. And so she was like, well, I gotta have Noah back. He told her, you sure got a lot of damn demands, all right? You making a lot of demands for someone who behaved so badly and messed up so much and caused so much trouble, all right? And she was like, well, can you help me with the Willis? He said, I have. He said, you gonna take your ass right back there and you gonna stay up there in that little room, you know what I'm saying, that they got in the house. So she was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going back there. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna be a prisoner and I'm not gonna stay with somebody that literally tried to take my baby and stole my baby from me. How do you do that? And he was like, do you really not get the irony of what you're saying right now? She's like, absolutely not. And she was like, well, I don't care. Because he was like, Serena, you a smart woman. Please stop playing dumb, okay? You know what the picture is as far as Gilead goes and how it works. And he was like, you would be living with this wealthy couple in a home. And she was like, no, you don't understand. They're trying to steal Noah from me. And he just was looking at her like, and he said, well, he's attached to your breast, so they still need you for that anyway, at least to help nurse him and reduce his crying. And so she was like, no, I'm not going to be used by you, Gilead or the Willis. He was like, do I need to remind you that it's either that or you stay here because they have the legal status to take care of your baby. So what you want to do, okay? What you want to do, girl, okay? That's what you need to think about. At this point, she crying her crocodile tears. And so he was like, it's the only way. Is that way or is the highway? So you choose whichever one you want to do. He was like, come on, Serena, get with the program. Don't you want to be with your baby? So she was like, I'm not a handmaid. I said, bitch, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. What you think you are? You could put a different title on it. You could put a different name on it if it make you feel better. But that's what you are, boo. How it feel when the shoe is on the other damn foot, okay? So he go ahead and he leave, right? For her to go ahead and think about, what her daggone decision is going to be. In the meantime, we seeing, just, June hanging out with baby Nicole, singing to her, telling her about her big sister and all of that kind of stuff. They was having a moment because little Nicole didn't want to settle down. She was over here crying. So June was spending a little time with her, whatever the case may be. And then, Luke basically came and he's watching and, he's feeling it too. They both feeling it. So that next morning when she wake up, we got daggone Mark there in the house. And this is when she's like, yo, what have y'all done? What is the plan? Oh, I can't tell you the plan. It's top secret. I'm sorry, but I can't go into it. I can't let you know for sure, what we're doing. But I can say that we are doing something. And he was like, you're a domino. So if you go back there, whatever the case may be, a lot of people are going to follow and they're going to think it's safe. And that's going to make it even worse. And she was like, that's not fair. You can't put that on me. What I do for me and my family and my child is what my decision for me. I can't be responsible of what everybody else is going to do. And he was like, even if Lawrence is basically trying to open back up, the country, and he'll be succeeded by the Putmans and all of that kind of stuff, you still don't got a problem with it. And she was, he said you could be trapped there. It's probably not gonna be the way you think it is. And she was like, undermining Mayday American democracy and all of that, right? And so she was like, I still don't understand how that matters to me. I still don't understand what that has to do with my daughter. I want to be with my daughter. I want to get my daughter. I want to bring my daughter back here, or either I want to go there and, you know what I'm saying, be with her there. Why he said, child, do you not owe your country nothing? She said, we got captured trying to get information for you. I said, wait, hold up, freaking Mark. I know you freaking lying. I know you ain't just opened up your damn mouth to talk about what she owes some damn country, all the different things that she done damn been through and could have lost her life. And she said, with the information we already gave y'all, what are you doing? That's when he was trying to talk that classified shit. And she was like, nah. I ain't going for no classified bullcrap. Tell me now, what have you done? What are you doing? I'm just supposed to put trust in this damn country that have done absolutely nothing for me. In the meantime, I'm putting myself on the line for y'all. And I felt her with that part, okay? I said, it's the audacity for you too, Mark, because you playing your damn self, all right? He over here talking about, please just give us a little bit more time. I know it's hard to trust us and all of this and that, but, please do. And he did start to tell her a little bit about they had plans to go ahead and launch some type of damn military action or whatever, but that he really couldn't go into more details than that because it was classified. I said, yeah, well, when you launch it, then come back and talk to us, all right? And so moving on from here, we had Rita and June sitting and talking for a minute, and she was just asking her, like, would you ever go back there? And Rita was like, hell no, girl, I ain't going back there. I ain't got no reason to go back there. I would never go back there. You know what I'm saying? I am moving forward. But she was like, if I had a child, whether it was there or anywhere, like, I'm gonna go to the ends of the earth to be with my damn child and get my child back. And her and June kind of, held hands with that part, right? Because she knows, she get it. She was there too, whatever. So then this is when we had June come see Serena. Serena over here talking about some, thank you so much. I'm so glad you came. I need a lawyer. I need an advocate. And she was like, Serena, I think you got it twisted. Like, we not friends. Don't get freaking confused with me. June at the same time is trying to get information as far as whether Lawrence is being up on the up and up with the whole New Bethlehem thing. And Serena was like, I really don't know about all of the politics of what's going on there now, right? I would not be the best person to tell you about that, but she gonna talk about something, which is why I wanted to talk to you. And this is when she started talking about some advocate and legal person and all of that. And June was like, girl, are you sick? Are you confused? She was like, we're not friends now, and I'm not trying to be no damn advocate or help you. Like, you really bugging out. And Serena was like, but you forgave me. She said, no, I didn't forgive you. I just turned the other cheek. I guess that makes me more than a damn Christian than you. I said, I know that's damn right? So she was basically like, I don't know what to tell you. I gotta, go through what I gotta go through, and you gotta go through what you gotta go through. So Serena gonna talk about some, oh, no matter what you say, you could dismiss it or whatever, but I know what happened in the barn, and I know that we bonded and we came together, whatever the case may be. We've been through so much. And so I was like, yeah, they call that a trauma bond, Serena, but that still don't mean that she forgot all the stuff that you did to her or whatever, right? And so, that's when she told her, I guess I'm just a bigger Christian than you. And, Serena just sat her ass back looking stupid. And so then, Serena was saying to her, like, I got my baby or whatever the case may be, right? How do I go into a damn house? What am I supposed to do now? How do I go back into a house where they trying to steal my baby? And June was like, I know you ain't asking me that, and then when she said it again, she was like, you go back to the Willers. And, Serena was like, how? She was like, that's what you did, or that's what you would do. And she said, yeah, I'm going to tell you something. Listen to me closely. You go back into their house, you take care of your baby, you play nice, you apologize to them, you smile in their face, you tell them everything that they want to hear, and the whole time you plotting against them. And Serena was like, is that what you did? She said, look at where Fred at, bitch, and look at where you at. I said, you better tell her, June. You better freaking tell her, bitch, okay? Because Serena really playing on our intelligence out here in these streets, okay? She really got it all twisted, okay? And so, moving on from there, she was like, good luck, goodbye, good riddance, girl, and she left. So June then goes to see Lawrence, and she like, yo, what's good? What's really good with this? Is this real? Things is gonna be able to change? Are you gonna be able to get her out of there? He over here talking about it's some things he could do, and it's some things that's basically out of his hands. He's working on it. She told him, Luke don't trust him. She's trying to, but she's very reluctant. And he was like, well, what can I do to persuade your husband? She was like, prove that this is gonna be a damn, real life. Stop them from marrying offhand. And he was like, that part is out of my hands, and Gilead is gonna Gilead. I said, really, Lawrence, you a funny dude, right? And she was like, so I'm supposed to be okay with a daggone child of mine, or any child, being raped by somebody that's twice their damn age? She was like, you created this damn system, you made it this way. He talking about is an arranged marriage. She said, nah, F you, okay? You putting a cute little, spin to it, but at the end of the day, it's anything but that. It's disgusting. These women are, sexually assaulted, tortured, abused, and you want to sit here and tell me that it's all good, and this is a world that you helped create, you sick, okay? So she was like, spare me, the high freaking moral right now. Let's keep it real if we gonna keep it real. And he gonna talk about something, you think it don't bother me, you think it don't haunt me, you think I don't think about it every day, and I'm working so hard to make the changes, but I can't make it overnight. He was like, Gilead is my damn conscience. And she was like, so do something about it. He talking about, I am the new Bethlehem is a better future, that could change the unchangeable past, and we could basically be able to, bring you there and make these changes over time. So she was like, how sway, how exactly are you going to do that? He talk about the countries can get better together, and we can start a new Bethlehem and do all these reforms, and in 5 or 10 years or whatever the case may be, what a difference a day would make, basically, that it can be that place. And she was like, so I gotta wait 5 to 10 years is what you saying, And then she was asking him, like, do you really think that this could really be something that could happen? And he was saying, yeah, he do. And he's just basically like, come be with your daughter. So, of course, she's still thinking about this, and she's still saying to Luke, like, she needs us, she needs us, she needs us, she needs us, she needs us. This is not up for debate. We have to go. We have to freaking go and be with our damn daughter. He's telling her, I can't let you go. He was like, I'm so scared that you are going to leave, and you are going to be gone, and I'm never going to get you back. He was like, you've been there for years. And she said, listen, I promised I wasn't going to leave her, and I left. I abandoned her, okay? I abandoned her. I left her, and I got to get over there to my damn daughter. We could either go as a family, or I could go alone, because he was like, I'm not going with no damn Nicole. He was like, are you crazy? I'm not taking Nicole there. And then he gonna talk about we never gonna be good enough for you. I said, what the hell are you talking about, freaking Luke? Okay, you not making no damn sense right now. You sounding real freaking ignorant. And she kept saying, she needs me. And so she was like, I'm going whether you go or not. You know what I'm saying? You do what you want to do, but I promised I would never leave her, and I did. So at this point, when she kept saying she abandoned her, she left her behind, he just was holding her, and she was crying in his arms or whatever, and she was just keep telling him, like, they got to go back for her. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, what part is he not understanding? So all of a sudden, he had basically called June and showed her where this disc got sent in the mail, and we seeing Hannah walking, and then she stopped and look at whoever was filming, like, if she could see that they was, filming her, and the girl behind her just was like pushing her, like, go. And they showing it to Mark the next day, like, can this be helpful? And he was like, yeah, this could be real helpful. Thank you for showing this to her. And she was like, if you find her, then what? What can you do? What are you gonna do? And he was like, I'm gonna tell you one thing, we are gonna do as much as we can. We can't afford to lose American citizens. That's a real issue for us. And he was like, please believe me when I tell you that we're gonna throw everything at this, and we're gonna go as hard as we can. If you could just hold on for a little bit more and keep your faith. And so we got Serena. She get out of jail. She, her facility, whatever. She come, and they say, may you speak. She coming in here. So she's like, I'm so sorry for my actions and everything that I've done, and I apologize. I was rude. I was ungrateful. It was my fault alone. I'm gonna do what I gotta do, whatever y'all need me to do, and thank you for letting me come back and nurse my baby and all of that. And so they said, well, you do your part, and we'll do the rest, and put all your Zooey's into motherhood, and then Mrs. Wheeler had to throw in there like, you may not ever be ready to be a mother, right? And Serena had to just eat that shit. So then they tell her that she could go, and as she going up the stairs, she's hearing baby Noah cry, so she go running, and then she stop at the door like, may I? And they was like, yeah. And when she go in, you know, the lady that was holding the baby Noah was like, oh, we've been waiting for you, you know, go ahead. So she's like, I miss you so much, and she start feeding him or whatever, right? So Serena is officially, baby, belonging to the Willis child. We will see how long this will go on, right? And then we basically see that, you know, June and them is still waiting for this call. They nerves is all over the place. We got Rita calling, and we got, you know, Luke telling her, no, we still don't got no news. We still waiting to hear from, you know what I'm saying, Mark. And then while June is in the supermarket going for these apples that she told Nora she was going to go for. And to be honest with y'all, I thought June was about to be out on the ass. I thought she said she was going for apples and was about to bounce. But she really was in the store getting the apples. And Mark was like, we figured it out. We got her. We found her. We found the information for the food, you know, the school. We found Hannah. We about to get up in there. We know where she is. Okay. He was like, I can't get into all the details. I can't talk for long, but we basically have a lot of moving parts, and we are still formulating a plan, and we about to come up in there with the video that, you know, you gave us that helped tremendously. And June is like, okay, we understand. She was like, he said, we about to do a raid and get her up out of there. June was so ecstatic. She had the biggest smile. She was trying to hurry up and throw them damn apples back up there. She giving the man in the store a hug, saying thank you to him. He looking at her like, girl, what the hell you thanking me for? She run home, just jumping in Luke in them arms. They found her. They found her. They like, you serious? Her and Luke and Maura jumping up and down. We did it. 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 And then they showing freaking you know, he talking about, I love Mark. I love Mark Suliola. And we seeing freaking Hannah looking up at the sky while she over here planting a plan. I said, now y'all know we ain't getting a happy ending, right? Y'all know she ain't just gonna be able to run up in there and do a raid and that's gonna be all and we gonna be okay, right? We all agree on that? Okay. So y'all put it in the comments. Let me know what y'all think is going to happen, what y'all think is going to go down. You know, tell me what you thought about this episode and all that good stuff. Let's discuss, let's discuss, let's discuss. Okay, give me a wave. Let me know you came by. Put some flames up in the sky, y'all. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe if you are so inclined. Okay, till next time. Toodaloo.